It's Tuesday, December 2nd, 10 a.m. Central on the dot. And this is True Crime in Real Estate.
Well, this is Sandy Lynn. I run a national brokerage that doesn't do drama, doesn't do woke, Holly, trigger warning, and definitely doesn't do federal indictments. My business partner and co-founder, Holly, is the one who serves the tea while it's still piping hot. She finds the stories before they even hit the news cycle. Every week, we will pull one from the dark side of real estate. So the deals, the scams, the disasters nobody talks about from the closing table. And we're going to tell it straight so that it never happens to any of us. So here we go. Well, if you're in the Midwest, around here, Iowa, Illinois, Nebraska, anywhere that isn't Manhattan or Miami Beach, the name Alexander Brothers probably means nothing to you. I'll be honest, it meant nothing to me. Well, I'm going to fix that for you in about 60 seconds. These three guys owned the top 1% of the top 1% of luxury real estate for the last decade. They sold Kanye and Kim their Hidden Hills compound. They moved a $135 billion mansion in the Hamptons in 2021, which is still the record outside the city. And they had the only brokerage side ever backed with 9 figures before the ink was dry. Private Gulf streams on standby, tables at Carbone that didn't exist for mortals like me for now. Keys to half the penthouses on Billionaires Row. If you walked into any Douglas Elliman office in 2018, the posters on the wall were Oren and Tal. Do I say it Tal, Holly?
Sure, let's go with that.
All right. Not Tal. Oren and Tal were closing $100 million deals before most agents were even closing their first condo. These guys were legends. They launched Official in 2022, so that was their own brokerage. And within 18 months, they had 300 agents, offices in 4 states, and a wait list to join. In that world, they were rock stars. In the real world, the feds say they were running a 15-year rape conspiracy disguised as networking. And here's how it worked. According to the indictment and the 40 women who finally talked. Target is usually early 20s, beautiful, starstruck by the lifestyle content. They'll slide into their DMs, or they'll get introduced at Fashion Week or wherever is like the cool place to be. They'll dangle a carrot in front of them. Fly down to Miami this weekend. We'll put you on the yacht, front row at the Heat game, stay at our house on Sunset Islands. Girl lands, they hand her a drink that's already spiked. GHB, which is odorless, knocks motor skills out in minutes. Next thing she knows, she's walking up sore, sometimes with 2 of the brothers in the room, sometimes all 3 laughing about it. 8 victims told the FBI the brothers took turns, while the 3rd watched or recorded. One girl was only 16 when it allegedly happened to her. They kept it quiet for years because who's going to believe you over these guys who just sold Jay-Z his beach house? 2024 hits, civil suits first start to come. Women compare notes. Patterns are lining up, and they've lined up like across an entire decade. Feds took the case. December of 2024, They get raided at dawn. Oren pulled off in a private jet. Tal was grabbed at his mansion, and Alon at his parents' place. Guys, I don't know how to say Jewish names. I'm just gonna own it. January bail hearing in Manhattan, which Holly and I watched this together. Oren's lawyer argues the twins should go home because Oren just had a baby. And this is a direct quote. The danger of further orgies is now zero, end quote. The judge stared at him for 5 full seconds and said, "Counsel, I am not persuaded." So all 3 were shipped to Brooklyn, MDC, and are still there. So that was, you guys, that was December of 2024. They've still been in jail awaiting trial. While they sit, their family's been unloading everything. Oren's brand new waterfront on the Sunset Islands. It just closed in June for $51.5 million in cash. His mother signed because Oren couldn't. So think about this. They're offloading their assets. These civil suits are happening. They're offloading their assets. That's who these guys were. Big enough that their arrests made Page 6 and the Wall Street Journal on the same day. That's exactly why the fall matters to every single one of us. Even if your biggest closing this year was a 300-acre corn farm, because the lesson here is the higher the profile, the harder the evidence has to be to take you down. Once the pattern's proven, nothing saves you. And I love this part of the story because once the pattern is proven, nothing can save you. Not the jet, not the celebrity Rolodex, and not the "I've changed, I'm a family man now" speech in court. And why this is part of the story is because he literally pleaded this to the judge during his bond hearing. My wife is about to have a baby, all this other stuff. Like, that would change the fact that he allegedly raped 40 women. Right before this story, they indicted him on 40 women, but 20 more, at least 20 more have come forward since seeing the indictment. So that's why in our chit chat prior to this, I said 60 women. The toll is growing. And there are certain women's stories where the statute of limitations has expired. Sex trafficking charge has not been validated. That's been, the statute of limitations has been deemed like ran out. That clock ran out. So here are a few takeaways. For us at our brokerage, I think a good takeaway is your top producer can nuke your entire company in one news cycle, which is why, again, we are invite only, and we take our reputation and your reputation very seriously. Number 2, save every text. When the subpoena comes, your phone is either your alibi or your coffin. So there's something where, like, I try to tell myself, if I'm like texting or DMing, I'm like, would I be okay with this being read in open court? Yeah. Bragging about conquest isn't locker room talk when the locker room has hidden cameras and federal agents. Shut it down the first time or fire the mouth. So that's something else to think about. And build wealth, not headlines. The wrong headlines will bring you handcuffs. So that is the Alexander file. We will definitely update you as their court case continues, because as Holly and I were watching it and looking at everything about the Alexander brothers, they're beautiful, like one of them's beautiful wives. It's two twins and then one ugly brother.
You're so mean. You're so mean. An older brother who doesn't have this, wasn't blessed with the same genetics as the twins, okay?
He has very tiny eyes for his face, and it's not alleged, it's a fact. So I'm just saying that is the true crime portion of this. But I want to, yes, we can absolutely share pictures.